Hello, everyone. My name is Ava, and I'm 17. I've fallen in love with my best friend. And if you're thinking that there's nothing special about this, and that it happens all the time, I say, wait till I tell you how I managed to ruin his relationship with another girl and rejected his love at first. Here's a story for you about me acting like a snake in the grass. When I turned 13, my family decided to move to the US. For me, it was really hard to be here, different people, different schools and everything. And I don't know why, but I had time making friends with anybody for a really long time. And it was enormously hard to be alone a lot. But one day, everything changed. I was sitting in the school cafeteria when somebody put their tray down beside mine. Then a dark-haired, chubby guy flopped down in the chair next to me and introduced himself. This was how I met my future best friend, who would become my first love. But I'll tell you more about this part later. Ever since that day, Ethan and I have been together all the time and everywhere. And even though whenever he dropped by, my grandmother would call him my boyfriend, there was nothing romantic between us. I mean, we could discuss boys or girls that we were interested in and everything. Well, at least until my 14th birthday party. It was a close family celebration, and Ethan was apparently invited after the birthday dinner with cake and everything. We were left alone, and Ethan said that he had something special for me, and I was really excited about it. I was really fond of sports in general, and he knew that, and he gave me the best tracksuit I could ever dream of. And then he tried to kiss me. Of course, I jumped back and asked what he was doing. He looked really confused and started mumbling something like he thought I knew he liked me, and he hoped I didn't mind and stuff. I mean, of course I knew nothing about his feelings, and I did not mind. I yelled at him, telling him that he was nuts, and he yelled back at me that I had given him signs. Who would have known that this stupid jerk would consider my laughing at his jokes as a sign that I was attracted to him. Anyway, it was our first big fight, and then he just went home. I spent the rest of that night boiling over the whole situation. We didn't talk to each other for the next 2 days, and demonstratively tried to ignore each other at school. The only person who knew what had happened between us was my grandmother. I really need to share my story with someone. And Grandma was the only person I could trust. Of course, she said that she knew this would happen someday, and then she insisted that we had to have a talk. Nevertheless, he was the first to text me, and then we met and decided that it would be better if we just acted like it didn't happen and stayed good friends. In addition to that, both of us had a slight turn of events in our lives. I happened to get on the school's cheerleading team. Apparently, due to my love of going all out for sports and my natural bendiness, I no longer had much time to spend with Ethan, and I made some new friends who were girls. We had other topics to discuss that were different from what I could talk about with Ethan. So I managed to miss the news that Ethan had a girlfriend. He insisted on the two of us meeting each other. It's not that my opinion about her could influence their relationship. I thought he just wanted me to get to know her so that I'd be able to give him advice about girls. Her name was Sophia, and we met in a cafe all together and then went to the movies. She was nice. I mean, nothing special, of course, just like an average girl. But you know what was strange? I couldn't help but get aggravated anytime Ethan would tell me something about their relationship. Once again, I told my granny about this, and she gave me a hint by saying that the actual problem was probably not with that girl but with me. I liked Ethan in a romantic way but didn't realize it until I saw a real competitor for his attention in Sophia. This made me reconsider my feelings, and then one day, everything became pretty evident. I realized I was in love with my best friend. It happened when Ethan called me one day and said that Lina's family was moving to Europe for a couple of years. He was devastated when he told me this. I think he was even crying a little bit. I said I was really sorry, but deep inside, I was happy that she would be gone and that he would only have me left. I thought this might be a chance for us to try out dating. I even had a dream of when he tried to kiss me on my 14th birthday, and I wished that he would do it again. This time, I would definitely not have minded. But time passed, and nothing romantic was happening between us and Ethan, and Sophia kept up their long-distance relationship, which really pissed me off. So I decided to come up with a plan. I created a fake account on Facebook and pretended that I was a nice-looking guy who wanted to be friends with Sophia. I began liking her photos, and then we became Facebook friends and started chatting with each other. I just wanted to, make sure that she was flirting with me. And at some point, I'd accidentally show Ethan the guy, and he would become jealous and understand that Sophia was not the girl for him. Well, in general, my plan worked out. Ethan and Sophia fought over that guy, and she even said that the guy I had created, was way more charming and romantic than Ethan, and they finally broke up, which made me really happy. I knew that Ethan would stop worrying about the situation at some point, and I would be the one who would be supportive, kind, and everything. But then something went completely wrong. I was with Ethan at my place when the phone rang. Somebody was calling from a landline. I had to leave the room to answer that call, but I recklessly forgot to take my cell with me. And it was right then that Sophia decided to send a message to that guy. To me. Anyway, Ethan saw everything on the screen of my cell phone, and he didn't even need to unlock the phone to see what the message was all about. And of course, I tried to explain everything to him, but he didn't want to listen. We had another big fight, and he refused to talk to me for a few days. I bet you'll never guess how we made up. Ethan came over one day and said pretty much the effing thing that I once said to him about friendship and stuff. You know that he'd prefer to keep our friendship rather than try out dating. It was pretty lame to hear all that, by the way. And he also said that he'd forgive me if I gave him access to that fake account. It turned out he wanted to get revenge on Sophia. As far as I understood, he wanted to arrange a date with her on behalf of that guy so that she'd come and get stood up. As far as I'm concerned, the only thing left for me to do is keep the closest person to Ethan. Even if I promise to stay friends with him, my feelings haven't gone anywhere yet, and they probably never will. Who knows? Maybe his feelings for me will someday wake up again, but this will be a completely different story. This is what I wanted to tell you this time. Feel free to write your thoughts about it in the comments and give this video a like